Subject, what's going on, man? How you been?
I'm good, man. How are you doing today?
Nah, I'm good, man. Hey, can you introduce yourself for the people who may not know you?
What's going on, y'all? My name is Subject. I am 24 years old. I'm from Minnesota. Um, I don't call myself a rapper, but I do make rap music. Nobody else knows me as a rapper, but um, yeah, something I grew up around rap music. I just always loved it, and one day I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make my own music, and it was
And you
off to the
said
races from there.
you said you're from Minnesota?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we can get right into it then. Let's talk about your childhood real quick. Like, were you raised in Minnesota, or like where
Yeah,
you?
born and
Okay,
raised.
born and raised. Okay, how's life over there, man? I don't really know much about Minnesota.
Yeah, I feel like there's a big misconception of it. That Midwest life. I grew up around drug addiction, one parent household,
Okay.
and then for a while I was living with my aunt because my my one parent got locked up in prison for a couple years.
Oh
So,
man, that's all
but I
bad.
mean, now I'm just living life, doing the best things I can do, really.
How was the early childhood for you growing up?
I mean, it was definitely hard. My father passed away from suicide, and then
Oh,
directly after that is when my mom went to prison, and so kind of came off to a bad start. Um, and then I was living with my aunt for those 2 years. My mom was locked up. There was a little bit of verbal, physical abuse in there. Nothing crazy, but a lot of stuff was thrown on her at once. So it's not something I really I wouldn't say don't blame her for, but it's something that I can look at and be like, okay, well, wasn't right, but she was definitely her cup was way too full for her situation at the time too.
that's respectable. Um, I don't know if you're okay with talking about it, but you said your father committed suicide.
Yeah, I'm very open to it. I've dealt with it. I've accepted it. I'm a father of my own now, so
Okay.
it's something I look back on and I'm like, shit, I would never do something like that, but I forgive the man for what he did.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. How old are you when that happened?
I was 3, just about to turn 4. So it's one of actually my earliest, like, super strong memories that I have. So,
Nah, that's crazy. I talk to a lot of people, and like some people, it's like tunnel vision. Like they don't even
hmm
remember that far back. You know what I mean?
right, right. And it's something that I've been kind of upset that that's one of my earlier strong memories, but also it kind of gave me an idea of how precious life really is when it can just be taken and changed in an instant.
Right. I mean, this is like kind of touchy, but like, do you know the reasoning for it?
I mean, he was not a good partner to my mom, and he was just caught cheating. I actually just learned about this recently, and he was caught cheating again. And I think some of the circumstances within that situation just kind of it was a very impulsive decision, but he was someone who struggled with mental health and things of that nature for the entirety of his life.
Right. And you said your mother went to prison. Around what
Yep,
age that
she
happened?
that was like I don't even know if it was a full year after my dad's death. She, she went to prison because someone came over wearing a wire and she was up to no good.
Oh man, yeah. I mean that happens, man. It's a poverty, lifestyle. I completely understand. So how old were you when that happened?
I was probably like 4. I probably had just turned 4. I think I don't know. That part's a little hazy then.
Oh, okay. Oh man, that happened right after your father. Like,
Yo,
that's crazy. That's
yeah,
crazy.
bro. Bad
So,
start.
yeah, no, that's wild. So from then on, you move with your aunt. You said there
Yep.
was like verbal abuse, whatever.
Yeah, there
Um,
was some verbal and physical abuse up in that house.
okay. Um, at what point did you end up moving back with your mom when she came out of prison?
Yeah, so she went to the only women's prison in Minnesota. Excuse me. And when she got out, I think she had a few affairs she had to get in order with the courts and legality and everything. So I don't think it was like, you know, mom just kicked off the orange flip flops and two kids came living with her. But I think it was
Yeah.
within that year that she got out.
Dang. Yeah. I mean, stuff that does deals with the law is just it's long and tedious, man.
Yeah, bro, it's rough.
You know, it is. So, how was like school like for you during these times? Like, we just go to school and you just acted like it was normal, or did you really like deal with like mental problems and stuff?
Well, I mean, I was talking to my brother about this the other day about like mental health and shit. Like looking back now, I realized okay, I was definitely like something was wrong with me after that. But like going back to school, trying to play it all off as normal. Like the teachers obviously knew what had happened, but my friends would ask like parent teacher conferences and stuff like that. Like, where's your mom and dad? And I'll be like, oh, they're visiting New York because I didn't know
Yeah,
what to say,
man.
so I just pulled out some nonsense and I ran with that one for a while. And then when my mom got back, one of my friends' moms was like, how was New York? Because she had no idea about what was going on.
That's wild, bro. I mean, I had something similar, but this is about you.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
so was this like the entirety of school? Like you just were like kind of lying through it and stuff, or like
Not the
did it
entirety. I
change?
think I think once I was living with my mom again, and I don't know, I became more lucid as a kid. Um, Maybe around like 7 years old, I just started telling people like what really happened. Because at that
Oh
point,
wow.
like when she got back, it wasn't easy. She was still in the grips of addiction and shit like that. So things were still a little rough. So I already had that attitude. I was like, man, what the hell? So I'll just tell friends like, yeah, my dad killed himself and my mom's got this stuff going on, and that lasted for a good chunk of my life, honestly.
Would you move a lot, or were you like in the same area growing up?
We stayed within like the same 20-mile radius, but we definitely moved a lot. And then the place where she's at now, we got really lucky with because we were about to be homeless right before
Mm,
that place was offered to her.
that's crazy, man. So around what age would you say like you started like rapping and stuff?
I've I've been writing music and actually like putting bars together and lyrics for more than 10 years for sure. Even longer than that. I can't say exactly. Probably sometime in elementary school when I first started to really hear a lot of Lil Wayne and a lot of Eminem. Um, I would start writing my own raps, which obviously were dog shit, but
Right.
um, I want to say around 15, like 14, 15 is when I was like, I bought a notebook dedicated to writing lyrics in, and it was just full of lyrics.
Mm. Could you tell me like your earliest experience where you just started like rhyming, like not like writing stuff down, but like actually rhyming?
Um, yeah, I had a friend. He had just moved down from Minneapolis, and he was like, "You know what freestyling is?" I was like, "Yeah, I know what freestyling is." And so we were probably like 8 or so. Me and my homie Dario, we sat there freestyling some nonsense.
Right. What made you go with the name subject?
So originally it was criminalistic behavior, which was corny as hell.
That was your
No
name?
songs, yeah, no songs were under criminalistic. Nothing was under that. Thank God. And I changed it to subject to change. And my idea around it was, oh, people change and I'm still changing to this day. Every day I'm changing. So me as subject is still subject to change. And then I changed it from subject to change to subject.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. What were like the rap artists or albums that inspired you to like start like making music and stuff?
Um, Lil Wayne, Biggie. Biggie is a huge one. I love
Really?
Biggie's flow and like his lyrical content. I love that stuff so much. Like the song Suicidal Thoughts, the first time I heard that, it like blew me away. Um, so Lil Wayne, Biggie. I really like Mac Miller. X2, not so much as like Lil Wayne, Biggie, and Pac, and like Nas. I love Nas's like. methodical and very technical skills when it comes to lyricism.
Yeah.
But I just love how X was very vulnerable in his lyrics. So
Right.
I would definitely say like Wayne, Biggie, Pac, Nas for sure, just because of like if you listen to a lot of my stuff, it's very lyrical in a sense.
Right.
And I just love Mac Miller so much, bro. His shit is fire as hell.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mac Miller, man. That's
For real,
crazy,
for real.
man. He was dope for sure. Let's talk about like hip hop. Do you guys have like a hip hop scene in Minnesota?
Not super strong, but it actually recently started booming a little bit. My brother's got a homeboy who would do a lot of shows here in Minnesota, and I've been chatting up with him, trying to set some stuff up. But I'd
Right.
say within like the last 3 years, the hip hop scene started to really get pretty big over here.
Who would you say is like the biggest name out there?
If you know who Prof is, he's from Minnesota. Um, he's a lot like he's not Instagram music, but you see him a lot on Instagram Reels.
Okay.
He's pretty dope. He's not really something that I listen to, but he is pretty dope. Atmosphere, that's a two-person group. One of them passed away, if I remember correctly. Um, um, 7:30 in the morning. It's pretty fire. There's a few others, but I'm not too tapped into like the more popular guys here.
Okay. Okay. Now I was just trying to get an idea. I didn't know if you were like one, like the black sheep or something of Minnesota. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know where I sit within that demographic yet, but I'm trying to get my foot in the door here.
No, that's dope, man. That's cool. You have a mixtape in progress?
Yeah, it's supposed to have dropped within this next couple days, but we just had a passing in the family, so I just kind of let that take the wheel for a little bit.
Right. Okay. You got other priorities in the way. There's nothing wrong with that. Who's Aiden Southern?
He's a dude that I met on YouTube. I just scrolled past one of his reels and I was like, yo, this shit is fire. And I really like how we have a very similar idea of how we want to go about it. So I commented on that reel. We got each other's contact information and we've just been making hella music since then. He's from Ohio, I think he said.
Mm. So you working with people like in your area almost like that whole like
Yeah,
Midwest
yeah.
area? That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah,
I did
I
have
gotta
a
introduce
good
you to like a lot of people I know, man. I know like people online that would definitely like to know you. You know what I mean?
yes, bro. I would love that. That would be
Yeah.
great.
After this, we can definitely tune in. Um, what you got going on now with the music? I know you said you had the mixtape, but you got anything else going on?
Just for me personally, the mixtape, I guess like that's the forefront of my music right now. On the
Mm.
background, I'm like working my ass off. Oh, I've been experimenting with rage music recently. I got a couple reels up of that, which is very out of my norm.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them, I believe.
Yeah, that's something that my homeboy Rico, we served in the Marines together, and I was like, bro, I need to try this shit so we can make more music together. Um, but just the mixtape is at the forefront, and then in the background, I'm like DMs and DMs and DMs trying to reach people like you, people that other artists, other rappers. I'm just trying to give myself some kind of buzz a little bit.
Right. You said you were in the military?
Yeah, I did 4 years in the Marine Corps.
Oh wow. You out of it now?
Yeah, I'm free. I'm out that shit.
Is it true you got to do the 4 years like to get out?
Yeah, so most contracts are a 4 year active duty and then a 4 year inactive duty.
Right.
And you gotta do at least 4 years. And I think some contracts go up to 5
That's crazy.
and shit like that. But it's gotta be 4 before you can get like an honorable discharge.
Dang, that's wild. Dang, that's actually wild. Did you go into it like straight out of high school or what?
And yeah, a couple months after, I played with the idea of just not. But then my girlfriend at the time, I got her pregnant, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to like lock in and do something that's gonna help me, her, and our kid. Like I gotta do
Right.
something that's gonna really set us up in the future. So, and it's something I wanted to do my whole life for whatever reason.
Okay. Um, what's it called? How many kids you got?
I have two kids.
Dang, bro, you're the same age as me. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
crazy.
popping them out, bro.
That's a wild statement.
Yeah, bro. I can't pull out of a driveway, dog. It's rough over here.
Yo, you're wild, bro. Pull out of the driveway is crazy. You ever been like traveling and stuff to like different cities for music? Or like you ever
Um,
thought about like going to a different cities to see the buzz?
yeah, for sure. I've definitely wanted to. When I was living in Virginia, I was talking to a dude there. We were making music together. But with kids and everything, it's sometimes it's just kind of hard to really find that time to
Yeah.
like get up and go. But I would love to, and it's something that I'm still like, okay, how can I gotta incorporate a family vacation, and then also I gotta dip out and do this on the side type
Yeah, do
shit.
it on. Yeah. It's definitely a little bit more challenging. So what's your goal with the music? Do you just plan on like doing it on the side? Is it something you hope it just takes off somewhere? Like, what do you plan on doing with the music?
I mean, I feel like everybody making music would love to make a living off of it and be with like up with the greats and everything. So of course, like yeah, I would love to be a household name and to be in the same sentences as some of these rappers who are just like Hall of Famers type of stuff.
Yeah.
So like that's definitely something I would love, but I guess like I just more so want either me to be understood or I want someone listening to my music to feel understood. It,
Mm,
if I can make at least like 1 to 10 people just be like, "Oh, I'm not alone right now." Someone feels a way that I felt, then I guess I can say I'm successful. But man, I would love to live off music. That shit would be awesome.
yeah, nah, definitely. That's definitely the goal for a lot of people. When I hear your music, I hear like I don't want to say every song, obviously, but I hear a lot of like vulnerabilities within your music. Like you really want people to feel your pain. Like,
Hmm.
do you feel like a lot of that stems from like your childhood or like your experiences and stuff, or do you
Yeah.
feel like you're just a good writer?
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I do get a lot that I have a very nice way of writing these bars, but it definitely stems from that feeling of being misunderstood and that kind of feeling of being like wrong for having a certain type of emotion or a certain type of feeling. I know that yeah, it comes from my childhood, and it's just I've dealt with a lot of personal addictions to different substances, and writing music is the one way that I can essentially numb these super strong feelings and emotions that isn't going to kind of give me that negative back end,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
But
no, I get that.
and I do just really love being vulnerable, but in a creative and complex way.
Okay, yeah, that's respectable. Um, I was gonna say, damn, I just lost my train of thought. My bad.
You're good, bro.
Hold I don't know. Have you ever like performed, like try to do like an open mic before?
Not an open mic. I'm fucked, man. I low key be embarrassed to get laughed at or whatever.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I get it. I get it.
but my homeboy, he used to be in a band. They recently broke up. Boxed Goods, Midwest emo, such fire music. Um, and he throws house parties pretty frequently, and I've been telling him, I'm like, yo, let me come through and bar up a couple times or whatever. And
Yeah.
like I had mentioned, my brother's homeboy has done performances, and he has some pretty deep connections in the Minnesota scene. So I've been trying to kind of set up with him and get some shit figured out with that.
Okay. And is SoundCloud the only place to find your music?
Excuse me. SoundCloud and YouTube right now.
YouTube. Okay.
Definitely gonna try and get it up on Spotify and stuff like that at some point. But
Yeah, like
right now I'm
DistroKid
just
and
using
stuff.
free beats, and I gotta respect the producer's wishes. I am working with Doc. He's another producer that Aiden Southern and I work with.
Yeah.
Super fire. He did my song Project 5,
Mm-hmm.
did the beat, and also mixed the vocals. Such a talented dude. His stuff is so fire. Um, I've kind of already worked it out with him, and we want to start putting our music up on SoundCloud. My bad, on Spotify. We just gotta figure out the logistics of it or whatever.
Yeah. I was good right before I forgot, like when I had like the brain freeze. I was gonna ask you, like, had you ever made like an album or a mixtape? Because I went looking for one and I just couldn't find one. It just seemed like a lot of singles.
Yeah, I mean, there's mixtapes that are made. I do have like a halfway finished album.
Right.
I don't know how much of that is gonna be put out. Um, but nothing that is like out right now. There's like two completed mixtapes, and then a lot of it is just like you said, singles right now. But I don't want to be a single artist or a single rapper. I want to be known for bodies of work.
Hey, that's dope. If you could give advice to anybody with like maybe like a similar story as yours, with people with dealing with people with like drug addiction, maybe abusive households, like what would you tell them?
I would I would tell them, don't let that stuff hold you back. Don't let that stuff tell you who you are, and like just don't let that define who you are supposed to be. People here are always shocked that my brother and I turned out the way we did because frankly we were destined for addiction and homelessness, but we really just do not accept what the stigma tells you got to be coming up from that stuff.
Mm. And where can people find you to like contact you or maybe check out your music?
Uh, for music, SoundCloud, YouTube, on my YouTube, all my social stuff should be on there. Um, Everywhere right now, it should be mn dot subject or some variation of mn and subject. I've recently just left a collective, so I've had to change all my names. So my bad, I don't have that. Like, I could send you it if you want to put it in the description or some shit.
Right, no, you're good. Yeah, I got that. Well, bro, I appreciate you. I wish you the best on your music journey, and I hope you become successful in whatever you pursue in life, man.
I appreciate that. And I'm so grateful you gave me this opportunity, bro. If there's ever like another thing you want to do, just say the word and I'm there. I would love to, do some more shit with you if we could.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm gonna stay in touch. I've been busy lately, but I got you, man.
I
I
feel it.
got
All
you.
right, man. Like I said, I really appreciate this. This is like huge for me right now. Like I made it type stuff.
No, you're good, man. But I appreciate you, bro. I wish you the best of luck, man. I'll catch you
Thank you.
later.
You too.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
See ya.